Good morning, welcome to the channel. Today we are in my 2019 F150 and we're going to be having a little conversation about Ford credit and basically how I got screwed. So back in November of 2019, I decided it would be a great idea to buy myself a new vehicle. And at the time, I had a 2009 Ford Focus Coupe with a 5-speed manual. Well, it was getting up there in mileage. It was about 145,000 on it, and it started to have some problems, and I was just kind of tired of keeping up on it, tired of working on it, and decided it was time for a new vehicle. So after a little while, I decided that my best bet would be to purchase a pickup truck. Because living here in Ohio, weather does get kind of crappy. I do some towing, and plus it seats 5 people if I need be, and it's just a well-rounded vehicle for someone of my lifestyle, if you will. I went to our local Ford dealer and test drove one of their trucks. Also considered a Chevy Silverado, but I am a Ford guy down and true, and I do like their trucks, and I decided to go with the F150. It was a little more expensive each month when it broke down to the payment. MSRP was a little more, but it did have options that I wanted that the Chevy didn't, so I did end up going with the Ford. Everything went really well at the dealership. Financing was great. Everything went really well. My salesman helped me out as much as he could. You know, he was really nice, answered any questions, was more than accommodative of any sort of questions, issues, concerns that I might have had. So the dealership was great. Everything went great there. Fast forward 3 months to February/March of 2020 when the problems started to arise. So buying the vehicle brand new, I financed it through Ford Credit because that was the easiest way to go about the purchase of this truck. And plus they had great incentives and whatnot, and 0%, yada yada yada. Great deal, right? Well, no. Like I said, 3 months from 2019, having owned the truck for about 3 months, I started to notice that my auto pay, which I had set up the day that I brought the vehicle home, wasn't coming out of my account correctly. It was set to take the payment out one day before my vehicle's bill was due each month. And what happened was, I believe the total for my truck was $419.97 a month. That's what it came out to be. I don't remember the exact dollar amount for these payments that were coming out, but it started to become a little erratic and not what I had originally set up auto pay to do, which was to take out $419.97 every month. So, you know, thinking I wouldn't have to worry about it, didn't monitor the account that closely. Well, I should have, because what started happening in February was, instead of one payment coming out, and mind you, this was set up through Ford Credit, my bank was not sending any money over to them whatsoever. This was all Ford Credit, all of them withdrawing the money from my account. It was not set up from Chase, who I bank with. What actually started happening was 2 payments. One of $64.97 came out, and the second one, which was about $350, came out. Now, it showed up on my bank statement as only 1 payment, but it showed up as 2 payments on the Ford Credit app, which I was like, well, okay, whatever. For whatever reason, it came out 2 payments, no big deal. The amount was still paid. The car payment was still taken care of. Well, another month goes by, and I noticed that only $64.97 was taken out of my account. That's what I saw on the account, and that's what I got notified of. Well, thinking that it just combined the payments or it didn't send out a notification, I didn't think that it was any concern. Well, about 18 days later, I received a call from Ford Credit saying that my payment was overdue. And this gentleman, he was very hard to understand. I really could not, should definitely not have been working in customer service. but or in any sort of call center, but I guess that's what you get these days. And really couldn't understand him, but basically what had happened was he said he wasn't sure why the payments weren't credited to my account, why the payments weren't coming out automatically like they should be, and he was going to take care of the late fees, which had accrued for over the 18 days of me not making the payment, thinking that I already had automatically. So what he said was the late fees were going to be taken care of, the what account was going to be auto-paid as normal and as it was already set up to be. So that was on a Saturday. Well, Monday rolls around, and I was thinking that everything was great. The payment was supposed to be credited to my account on Monday. Well, it wasn't. And about 9 or 10 in the morning, I received another call from Ford Credit. And this time, it was a female, much easier to understand, and she seemed very helpful. Well, when I called them back, I ended up actually getting a different representative, which she was helpful, but after arguing with her on the phone about the whole auto pay thing and what happened on Saturday and how I was told the late fees would be taken care of, she basically told me that it was my fault that the payment wasn't made, and that the problem was in no way anything that they did. They were not at fault for anything. And, well, I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation, but I think that Ford's credit program was a little more at fault than I was. Yes, I did not make the payment on time, but seeing as I already had auto pay set up, don't understand why $64.97, and they couldn't tell me either why $64.97 was taken out of my account instead of the full $419.97, which it was set up for. And you can actually log into my account right now, and it's still set up to do that. But anyways, back to the story. After arguing with her for a while, she put me on hold for about 10 minutes, and then came back on the phone and said what had actually happened was that my account and another person's account at Ford Credit were one number off from each other, and what had happened was his payments were going to my account and my payments were going to his account. So she was a little more accommodatory towards my irritation, if you will, of what had happened. So what I was told to do was to fax over 3 months of the previous bank statements to Ford Credit, and they would take care of this entire situation the next day. Well, I didn't really want to wait another day and have more late fees added onto my account. So after about 45 minutes after faxing over the bank statements to Ford, I gave them another call and sat on hold with another representative while they tried to figure out what was going on yet again. Finally, they took a look at my bank statements, figured out what was going on with the payments, adjusted the accounts properly, but still continued to charge me $419.97, and also stated that I was not set up for auto pay via the Ford Pass app or via the Ford Credit program, whatever you want to call it, and that it was actually my bank that was sending the money to Ford, not that Ford was crediting my bank account with the amount for my car payment, if that makes sense. So, fairly irritated, I posted something online on the Facebook F150 page that Ford owners, talk about, pictures up, whatever. And after a while, I started getting more and more comments about this has happened to me, or something similar happened last week to me, and apparently this has been happening to numerous people. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should Ford be at fault for what happened? Should their credit program be at fault, or should I be charged those late fees? Was it my fault for not monitoring the account correctly, even though auto pay was set up? Who's at fault here? What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and have more content coming your way. Working on a couple more projects on the channel, and take care. Have a great day.